Well, hello. We are the day before the solar eclipse, and I kind of want to talk to you before I go to work. Um, this is a really big energy day, and I've talked about it before that the solar eclipse is going to be in Pisces, the very last degree of Pisces, the 29th degree. And then right after that, all the energies are going to go into Aries. And the reason why I bring up these two dynamics is because Pisces is the spiritual sign that's about fantasy and manifesting your dreams, hopes through an unconscious awareness of yourself. It's a spiritual awakening. Most people that have a lot of influence of Pisces have they're very open-minded. They're very old, wise souls. But the duality of the Pisces energy is that because the world is so harsh and because the world is nothing like you, or nothing like that energy, often you want to regress into some unconscious behaviors that may make you want to manifest a different reality than you currently actually live. Tend to have rose-colored glasses, and it's just a very unrealistic energy, but that's where you would rather be, because you would rather see the world through those eyes than you would see them through the conscious thought. You'd rather live unconsciously because that world is easier for you to understand, because being so wise, you don't understand a lot of the issues that the world has and why they can do the things they do. So you would just rather look at everything through your rose-colored glasses and keep your optimistic outlook. Aries, when all this energy switches into Aries, Aries is your ego. It's about conscious awareness to the nth degree. It's about going for it. It's such a powerful energy. It starts out spring, so it springs forth. So this new moon in Pisces in the 29th degree is also going to be the spring equinox. And so this is a very powerful energy that as soon as we eclipse, we go into a different type of energy. So we go from the spiritual, awakening type energy into an ego-driven energy. Now, there's a wonderful energy to tap into in both. There's a very positive force that is going to ignite the new year. This energy is amazing, but it's very hard too. All of this Pisces energy that we've been going through for the past few months is enlightening us in areas that may be uncomfortable. Now, because you've had this unconscious energy, this Piscean energy, this energy that you want to just believe that things are what they are in your head, you've been maybe trying to get your reality to match that. But the Pluto-Uranus square energy that we have had it's just a dose of hardcore reality. So although we could have got caught up and lost in this Piscean energy, we weren't allowed to. We needed the Piscean energy in this Pluto-Uranus square, and let me tell you why. We all have unconscious limitations. We all have unconscious desires that we're almost afraid to even believe that we can have, because we only see limitation. But when you're a Pisces, you believe in your heart and soul that your fantasies can become a reality. So this Piscean energy has been incredibly wonderful for all of us to have been tapped into. However, again, this is a duality in this energy. And so, along with it tapping into our unconscious desires, our dreams, our hopes, our wishes, our just this inner ability to want to make all of this stuff happen, this passion, this spiritual awakening. A lot of us have had a lot of awakening within the past few months, if not the past few years, as we've been going through these Pluto-Uranus square. These squares, they have been testing us, and when we're tested, a lot of times we turn to a higher power because none of this makes sense. And so we have needed this Piscean energy, especially in these last few months. However, the duality of the Piscean energy is that it has pulled out some of our unconscious limitations, coupled up with the Pluto-Uranus squares and then the Piscean energy. We have really faced some very serious limitations with ourselves, with our ego. Because you remember this Pluto-Uranus energy was in, the squares were in Capricorn and Aries and in our cardinal signs. And so it really tapped you into these demons that I have, these unconscious limitations, these unconscious desires, these unrealistic desires are what is holding me back, what is not allowing me to manifest my dreams, my hopes, my wishes, my deepest desires. That duality in that energy, the Piscean energy, is what we needed to see. We needed to see what we hope and desire and dream of. And we needed to have our spiritual awakening. We needed to believe there was more out there than there is. But we also needed Pluto and Uranus square and all the energy that was in that to ground us. We needed Pluto to go in there and say, yeah, we use that Piscean energy, and Pluto to work with that Piscean energy and to pull out the darkest, deepest stuff. Stuff that you couldn't get if you weren't unconscious. Because as we live through a conscious life, it's our unconscious that actually rules us. Although we think we live a very conscious life, we actually don't. Where do you think fear comes from? Fear comes from deep within. It's our deepest, darkest chocolate layer. We needed all of these energies to stir the pot. We needed an awakening. Now, some of you are fighting that awakening, and some of you are going into a victim mentality with this. And I think that as you evolve, as you push forward, you will find that you're not a victim. And that's where the Aries energy comes in. The Aries energy in this is going to come in, and it's going to push you forward even though you feel limitation right now. You feel raw. You feel exposed. You exposed yourself to you. Nobody wants to know that they're the cause of their problems. Nobody wants to admit that the relationship failed because of your toxicity to it. It wasn't all that person's fault. You did stuff. I mean, you don't want to face that. But all of these energies have been pulling us and forcing us and pushing us and dragging us to face these things. We need to see unconsciously what is limiting us, but we also need to feel the unconscious energy and manifest what we secretly desire deep down unconsciously that we don't allow us to desire. That we're too afraid to desire because we don't think we deserve it. We don't think we're worthy. The demons that we hold within us, we see them now. What do you do with that when you see all that? How do you cope when God, spirit, the universe, however you want to feel this energy, how do you cope with what you just had to face? So a lot of us right now are directionless. We know what we want. We see it, but we don't know how to get it. We don't know where to go with it. We just had our guts ripped out and thrown out for everybody to see, and we don't know what to do with that. And it's very difficult to go forward with this kind of vulnerability, with this kind of exposure of who we really, really are. We don't know how to have our egos intact. We don't know how to stay strong. And we question everything right now because we question our egos. Our sense of identity has been broken down. And we're at a point where we don't know what now. What now? We're sitting there going, okay, God, spirit, the universe, planets, whatever guides you, you're like, what do I do with all of this? That's where the Aries energy is going to kick in. That's where the portal opens. Life is about balance. The universe is about balance. God is about balance. And our spiritual awakening is about balance. Okay, so now we see, I can tell you this. So now we see what is truly holding us back. Now, it's your choice. You have free will. Planets don't make you make choices. You make choices. You do. They can create, planet energies can create reality checks for you. But what you do with those reality checks is completely up to you. You are in power of your own life. Aries energy is going to be sucked into you. If you do this right, you acknowledge your limitations. You acknowledge your demons. You acknowledge the fact that you may be the cause of some of the problems in your life. Okay, fine, I got that. But then you suck in all this amazing forward energy in Aries. You spring forth a new person. You push forward a new ego. You re-identify yourself. You become who you were authentically meant to be. This energy is an eye-opening energy. Piscean energy is the oldest, wisest sign, and this is in the very last degree of that. This is, you are like a 90-year-old wise soul who has lived a very long life, and you've been through multiple wars, you've been through multiple relationship dynamics. You have had your ego torn down through age, and you have learned to rely on people. I mean, this old soul energy is rich with knowledge. It's rich with possibility. It's rich with moving forward with, okay, so we've seen what we got to see. We've been broke down. We're not everything that identified our egos, that's gone. It was literally took from us. Re-identify yourself. It's that simple. And you can do this through your spirituality and your guides, your energy guides. The planets are wonderful roadmaps for what direction to take. A lot of times when we come upon these crossroads like this, we're like, okay, what direction now? Like, I see the road. I either can go right, left, or straight, but I don't know which is the right road. I'm scared. You know, you don't know which road to take. So you're standing there and you're looking at all these roads and you're like, what do I do now? Like, I'm lost. Like, every relationship I invested in may have been took from you. The job that you were investing in suddenly doesn't appeal to you. Suddenly you want to make a shift and you want to start your own business, and suddenly you want to manifest your dreams. You know, there's so much been torn from us. Some people have lost loved ones. A lot of people have lost loved ones. I've seen a lot of death. I have felt a lot of death through this transition. Death in relationships, death in ourselves, death in our hopes, our dreams. Through I've seen death literally in loss of loved ones, unexpected deaths that were an ending of an old soul that was ready to ascend and go to the in higher place. So I've felt all this death, but where there is death, there is regeneration. Pluto is a fabulous energy, although we don't feel like it right now because it's been squaring us. It will transform our souls, and the Pluto-Uranus energy is not done yet. The square is. The final square is. But the energy has not left. Uranus is still in there, stirring the pot. We've still got to go through this solar eclipse with some Uranian energy. And then we have to go through, God help us, we have to go through a lunar eclipse, a total lunar eclipse in Libra in relationships. We're not done. We're not. But it's how you open this portal on the 20th. March 20th is a portal of energy. If you want to open it up, if you want to awaken your soul, if you want to awaken your spirit, if you want to awaken your guides to guide you, ask for it on the 20th. This is a time on the 20th when you're the oldest, wisest soul, when you're the most pure, when you have the guide of the spirituality at its purest form. Ask and submit. Submit to being spiritual beings. Submit to a higher power. Submit to being guided. We need a roadmap. The way we do it is wrong. Humans are flawed. We are not perfect. So therefore, how can we trust our own judgment? And especially now, you guys are feeling that way. You're feeling like, I've been doing everything wrong. I've been picking the wrong people. I've been doing it. I'm a bad person. I've faced all these demons about I'm just not worthy. That's where we're at right now. Some of us are at that point where we're taking new jobs and we're unsure. We're moving locations. We're unsure. We're relationships have dissolved and we're alone and it's all us, and we thought we were going to spend the rest of our lives with somebody. There is a guide out there for you. Astrology is wonderful for energy harnessing and for you to have a direction. It's like I'm telling you to turn left and you get to go, oh God, thank God somebody's telling me to turn left because I've got 3 directions I can go. Because the energy, not me, I'm just reading the energy. But the energy is telling you to turn left. So I'm going to say, hey, turn left here. Or this is what you might come across. Again, freedom of will kicks in. And if you live in any type of fear, if you let fear guide your choices, you're going to be in the same boat next year. And I can guarantee you, you're going to sink. Because this energy is a make it or break it energy. It's a Pluto-Uranus energy is going to be in our lives for a little while. Although it's going to separate and it's going to be a much more supportive energy for us, it will still be there reiterating the lessons in a different, and manifesting it in a different way. We are still going to be going through these lessons that the universe gives us, whether we want them or not. So we might as well learn how to harness them, and we might as well learn how to make them guide us instead of work against them. For me, right now, I'm going to decide to marry spirituality. I'm going to decide to have a relationship with myself. I'm going to get to know Annette. You know, I'm going to get to know me, the new me, the awakened me, the cleansed me, the pure me, the energies have cleaned my soul. I don't really know what to do with all this. I can tell you this, when I started my channel, I never saw it. I didn't anticipate that it would take off like this. I didn't think anybody would care what I had to say because I'm just a little Annette here. But I touch people. And it touches me to touch people. And I feel them and I want them to feel me back. I want to heal. I want to be supportive energy for them. I want to be a guide to you guys. I pray every day to be guided. I seek a higher power than me. I need to have that peace of mind, and the only way I get it is through my spiritual guide. It's through the fact that I can look at the energies in the universe and know that it's not only me that's going through this, everybody is going through it. I'm not being picked on, I'm manifesting. It's up to me if I want to manifest this all in a positive direction, or do I want to be a victim? Do I want to choose to be a victim in my life and say, well, everything bad is happening to me, la 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 la, I'm just a horrible person and I don't deserve love because, it didn't work out with that Yes, I could go that route. Why? Why did the energies remove that person from me? Was it to manifest what I had now? Will the energies bring somebody to me? I don't know. I don't question. I submit to my faith. I submit my heart, my soul. I submit my life to being guided by fate. To be guided by spirit. To be guided by God. For me, it's God. To be a spiritual being on this planet and know that there's something bigger that I don't see. It's like when you drive across the United States, and I just know little Washington, but when I'm driving across the United States, it's a whole new world. It's just oodles of roads to go. But I only drive the same roads every day, all the time, before I go to work and after I come, when I come home, and I go here and I go there. Yeah, but I know the same roads. There's more roads. There's a bigger world. There's something more to manifest. I wanted to bring you this message because the spring equinox is about springing forward in an Aries energy. So we have been raw, exposed. We now have a spiritual awakening that we can move forward with and have confidence, the Aries energy to rebuild our egos, to rebuild our sense of identity. It's time to take the bull by the horns, and all that Aries energy and all that Mars energy, and oh my gosh, there's a little spicy meatball of like some Uranian energy in there. Expect the unexpected. If you walk forward on the 20th, if you harness the energy and you say, okay, it's time to rock this world. It's time to be me, be authentically me, and to know that what's in my past is in my past, and what I can move forward with, I'm going to move forward with. And I'm going to do it with gusto, and I'm going to give it 100%, and I'm going to trust that God has it. God's got all the other stuff. If I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent, and I maybe have to move, God's got it. The universe has got it. Your spiritual guides have got it. Don't worry so much. I see a lot of you trying to control your universe still. Didn't the Pluto-Uranus squares teach you have no control? Get it through your head that we don't have control over life. We don't. You can drive down the street and die tomorrow in a car accident. You have no control over that. You have no control over the fact that your kids may drive down the street and you may lose an entire family in a car crash. You have no control over that. You have no control over, you might walk into work tomorrow and get fired. You have no control over that. None. They made a decision. You're fired. That's it. No control over all of these things. Submit and stop trying to control and harness and manipulate life, and start moving forward as an open vessel for spirituality and to be guided in a direction. And that's when you'll truly manifest. That's when you'll truly become this being that you were put on this earth to be, that authentic, unique being. We are flawed humans. We can't see that. That's why we need a spiritual guidance. That's why. Harness all of that. Spring forth on the 20th with a gusto, with Aries energy, with the wisest of all knowledge and the spirituality that's filled up in you. Go forward with that energy. Make the 20th the day you initiate the rest of your life. Who cares what happened in your past? It passes past. You can't change it. We made mistakes. It's okay. It's okay. We all made mistakes. I think right now, if you talk to anybody around you, we've all made mistakes. Nobody's feeling like they conquered the world right now. They're feeling like the world conquered them. That's okay. It did. Kicked all of our butts from here to there. Like, it was ridiculous. But that's okay. It's our past. That was yesterday. Today's today. Tomorrow's tomorrow. I like to look at the present and the future. The past is definitely a tool to learn from, and we get wonderful, wonderful energies to have us regress and go back in our past and say, when we go into a retrograde cycle, that's the time for us to focus on our past. That's the time to harness the energy, look at our past and say, yes, I am in another karmic relationship, much like this person was. So yes, I'm making that mistake again. Thank you for pointing that out, spiritual guides. Okay. That's when we go back in the past, but we don't go back in the past. We don't live in our past. We then go in our futures, and for the most part, we live present or to future. Live in a present state of being, and you will be happy. Live in the fact the sun is shining and hitting your face today. And then live in the fact that if today sucked, tomorrow is going to be possibly a better day. If you wake up tomorrow, it could be a better day than it was yesterday. Because that was past. That's it. Okay? So, I hope this helped everybody. I want you to know I truly and deeply care for you. And I love all my loyal YouTubers. You little pit bulls, when somebody gets mad at me and says something bad to me, you guys are on it. And I want to thank you for defending me, because I'm not for everybody. I know it. That's why I was so shocked that I even got over 200,000 views, because I'm not for everybody. I am opinionated. I'm loud. I've got a lot of Aries in me, and I've got this nurturing little Cancer in me, and then I've got a melting pot in me, and I'm not for everybody. So for those people that don't like it, they can just switch me off. But for the people that do love me, I deeply and wholeheartedly am thankful that I have met you through these videos, that I have had some conversations with you, and that you guys are in my life, because you're making my life full where it's empty right now. And I truly appreciate that. And I truly, deeply love all of you, and I'm giving you all of my powerful energy. I want you to feel it through this video. I want you to feel an Aryan energy. I want you to feel like you are not a victim, that you're going to move forward with confidence and power and spiritual guides. You have an army backing you. You're not alone. Even if you're alone, you're not alone. If you want it that way, you got to be awake. You got to be awake to that. You got to be open to that. You got to submit to it. So much love to you, and I hope you have a wonderful and powerful and gorgeous March 20th, and spring forward with a gusto and use that Aries energy to go kick a little ass.